There are people who walk into a room and carry with them a glow, a quiet strength, a peace in their step, a light in their eyes. And someone asks, how is it that they look so young, so fresh, so alive? It's not the cream, it's not the surgery, it's not the filter. No, my friend, it's something deeper. Looking younger than your age is not a miracle of cosmetics. It's the consequence of a life lived right. Not perfect, but right. A life that has made peace with God, peace with others, and peace with itself. You see, when a heart is burdened with unforgiveness, with resentment, with envy, it shows. You can't hide it with makeup, you can't conceal bitterness with fashion. But when your soul is free, when you've laid down your anger, when you've forgiven that person who never said sorry, something happens. You walk lighter. Your body doesn't carry the weight of emotional chains, and the world sees it in your eyes. Many are chasing beauty, but few are pursuing peace. And peace, real peace, is what renews the body. It's what takes years off your face. A person at peace with themselves, at peace with their Creator, that person radiates something no surgeon can sculpt and no pill can provide. Some people have aged before their time, not because of the calendar, but because they have no purpose. They wake up each day chasing things that never satisfy. But the one who walks in purpose, who knows why they are here, who knows who sent them and who they're living for, that person carries an energy this world can't explain. They don't live on empty. They wake up with fire. And purpose, real purpose, keeps the spirit young. And when the spirit is young, the body follows. It's not about staying young for vanity's sake. That's fleeting. But it's about honoring the vessel you've been given, living in obedience to natural laws, eating right, resting, working, praying, being grateful. Those who respect the body as a sacred gift often look decades younger than those who abuse it for momentary pleasure. But the greatest secret of all, the one this world doesn't tell you, is that joy renews you. Not the kind of joy that fades when the paycheck runs out or the applause ends. I'm talking about the deep, unshakable joy that comes from knowing you are not alone, that you are loved, guided, and protected. When you have that kind of joy, it seeps into your skin. It turns sorrow into strength. It wipes tears from your soul, and the face reflects what the heart contains. That's why some people look young even when their hair has turned gray. Their joy never aged. Their faith never got old. Their hope never grew bitter. They smile with a confidence that comes from knowing who holds tomorrow. So if you're looking younger than your age, maybe it's not a secret serum. Maybe it's your spirit. Maybe it's your peace. Maybe it's your purpose. Maybe it's your faith. And if you're not, if you feel worn, tired, aged by life, don't look for a mirror to fix you. Look within. Find what you've lost. Forgive who you need to. Return to what matters. And you'll see, you were never meant to grow old in spirit. You were meant to shine, even as the years passed by. Because youth is not in the skin, it's in the soul. And a soul rooted in truth, grounded in love, and alive with hope will never fade. A peaceful heart is one of the most powerful preservers of youth, not just in spirit, but in the very body itself. You can tell when someone carries peace deep within. It shows in the way they breathe, in the way they walk into a room without trying to dominate it. There's no tension in their jaw, no restlessness in their eyes. That kind of peace doesn't come from a quiet room or a weekend vacation. It comes from a life that has chosen to let go of what it cannot control. When you carry anger, bitterness, and unforgiveness, your body keeps the score. Sleepless nights, a racing heart, clenched fists, all of it takes a toll. The stress creeps into your skin, your posture, even your voice. You can dress it up, cover it up, or talk over it, but it's still there. And eventually, it shows. The years seem heavier on a person who hasn't let go of past wounds. But peace, real peace, lifts those years. It slows down the aging of the soul, and the body follows. A person who has learned to forgive is a person who has freed themselves from emotional prison. They stop carrying the weight of others' wrongdoings. They stop reliving pain that's already happened. That release brings restoration. The mind rests. The heart beats calmly. The body doesn't have to fight anymore. Peace also brings clarity. It allows you to be present, not haunted by yesterday or worried about tomorrow. And in that presence, the body finds rhythm again. Sleep improves, appetite stabilizes, even the immune system strengthens. It's not magic, it's design. We weren't meant to live in a constant state of turmoil. We were made to live in harmony with our Creator, with others, and when we do, the body responds. There's a glow that comes with peace. It softens your face. It brightens your countenance. It lifts the corners of your mouth without force. You can't fake that kind of youth. You can't bottle it or inject it. It comes from within. If you want to preserve your youth, don't just invest in the surface. Search your heart. Clean it out. Let go of old grudges. Choose peace, even when the world offers chaos. And you'll find that peace isn't just something you feel, it's something you wear, and it fits you like youth never left. There's a quiet dignity in a person who lives with purpose, a radiance that vanity could never produce. Vanity is loud. It constantly seeks attention, validation, and applause. It measures worth in likes and compliments, in the reflection of a mirror. But purpose is steady. It doesn't chase admiration, it draws it, without even trying. And in that calm pursuit of something greater than self, the soul remains young. Vanity exhausts the spirit. It demands upkeep, comparison, and competition. You're never enough. You're always adjusting, fixing, posing, not just your appearance, but your identity. That kind of life wears you down. It adds pressure with every passing day. It ages you because it forces you to live for the temporary, and the temporary always fades. But purpose, real purpose, is timeless. And you live for something eternal, something meaningful, something that reaches beyond your reflection. Your heart beats with a deeper rhythm. It's not striving, it's flowing. Purpose gives you focus. It silences the distractions. While vanity is always asking, how do I look? Purpose asks, why am I here? And when you live with that question in your heart, your body aligns with your mission. You're no longer wasting energy trying to be noticed. You're investing energy in making a difference. That difference may not be seen immediately on your face, but it lives in your spirit, and your spirit shows. People who live with purpose don't chase youth, yet they remain vibrant. There's a light in their eyes, a strength in their walk, and a calm in their presence. They're not burdened by time, they're driven by destiny. They may not fit the world's image of beauty, but they possess a kind of beauty the world can't explain. And that beauty doesn't wrinkle, it deepens. When you live for a purpose bigger than yourself, you become ageless. You don't fade, you evolve. The fire in your soul keeps your body from growing cold. You rise each day, not asking how you can be seen, but how you can serve. And in that service, you shine. Vanity may dress the outside, but purpose fills the inside. And only one of those truly preserves your youth. There is a divine order to life, a set of laws, both natural and spiritual, that, when honored, bring not only peace to the soul, but health to the body. These laws are not hidden, they are written into the fabric of creation. Eat what is nourishing, rest when it's time to rest, speak the truth, forgive quickly, walk humbly, give generously, pray without ceasing. These are not just moral guidelines, they are life-giving principles. And when we obey them, our bodies thrive. So many people are aging, not because of years, but because of rebellion against these laws. They push their bodies beyond what they were meant to endure. They feed their stomachs but starve their spirits. They chase highs and pleasures while ignoring the slow erosion of their health, their peace, their purpose. And then they ask, why do I feel so drained, so old, so broken? It's because when you break the natural and spiritual laws, they don't break. You do. But when you come back to order, when you start living in alignment with the wisdom that was built into the universe, you begin to heal, you begin to renew. The body responds to discipline, it responds to rest, it responds to truth. You begin to see that the commandments and principles given to us were not restrictions, they were protection. They were a roadmap to a life that flourishes. Those who live in obedience, not out of fear but out of love and reverence, often carry a kind of strength the world doesn't understand. They're not chasing youth, yet they seem untouched by time. They rise early, work with integrity, love without condition, and sleep with a clear conscience. Their skin is not perfect, but their soul is calm. And that calm works its way into every part of their being. Obedience is not about perfection, it's about alignment. It's about saying, I trust that the one who designed life knows how it should be lived. And when you walk in that kind of obedience, when you live cleanly, love deeply, and walk humbly, you won't need to fight for youth. It will follow you. Because true vitality doesn't come from resisting age, it comes from respecting the laws that preserve life. And when those laws are honored, life doesn't just pass, it prospers. Joy is one of the most misunderstood forces in the world. Many confuse it with happiness, with fleeting excitement, with moments of pleasure, but true joy, the kind that renews the soul and preserves youth, doesn't depend on circumstances. It isn't tied to what you have, where you live, or what others think of you. It comes from faith. Faith in something greater than yourself. Faith that your life has meaning, that you're held, known, and never forgotten. This kind of joy doesn't scream. It doesn't need to be loud. It lives quietly within, like a steady flame that never goes out, even when the wind rises. You can see it in the eyes of someone who has suffered loss, but still sings. You can hear it in the voice of someone who's endured pain, but still speaks with kindness. Joy from faith doesn't deny trouble, it overcomes it. There are people who have lived through decades of hardship, yet they still carry a softness, a lightness, a youthful energy that defies explanation. And when you ask them why they still smile, how they still laugh, they'll tell you it's not because life has been easy. It's because their faith anchored them through every storm. That kind of faith gives birth to joy, and joy, real joy, sustains the body. Worry ages a person. Bitterness hardens the face. Fear steals sleep. But joy heals. It softens the lines, it lifts the spirit, it slows down the toll of time. When you carry joy rooted in faith, you carry resilience. You bounce back, you endure, you hope again. And that hope shines through, making you look younger, not because you're untouched by life, but because you've learned how to rise above it. Faith gives you a reason to rejoice, even when there's no visible reason to. It reminds you that you are never alone, that even in your darkest valley there is light, that even when everything is taken, your soul can still sing. And when the soul sings, the body listens. It lightens, it softens, it heals. That's why some people, no matter their age, carry a brightness that can't be explained. They've placed their trust not in wealth, not in appearance, not in approval, but in a power far greater. And that trust gives them joy, a joy that stays, a joy that strengthens, a joy that keeps them young. So when you see someone who looks younger than their age, don't be so quick to credit genetics or guess at their skincare routine. Look deeper. Often what you're seeing is the reflection of a life lived with intention, a heart that has chosen peace over conflict, purpose over vanity, obedience over rebellion, and faith over fear. These are not external tricks, they are inward truths. They don't just preserve the body, they renew the soul. The world may chase youth through shallow means, but true youth is a byproduct of inner alignment. When your heart is at rest, your steps become lighter. When your life has meaning, your days grow brighter. When you live in obedience to what is right, your body is strengthened. And when your faith gives you joy, No shadow of time can dim your light. If you want to truly stay young, don't start with the mirror. Start with the heart. Start with your choices. Start with the way you live, love, and believe. Because the secret to lasting youth has always been within reach. Not in how you look, but in how you live.